Your Honor, we're actually here today, and I don't know if the district court ever signed anything sending it back over here. So I'm not quite sure of everything that's here that we're here on today. Today, what I know we're here on is there's a child support confirmation of arrearages, and we're just asking the court to obviously we're going to be with the state on this one and ask the court to confirm those arrearages and work a payment plan back so that my client can start, receiving some money for these. These are adult kids. There's actually triplets. I think there's two girls and a boy, and they're all special needs, and they're all non-functional. So there's been an order already in place for child support, and that's what you're basically trying to get confirmed here. On top of this confirmation of child support, we've also filed a enforcement with the court for the or a motion to enforce the order so that Mr. White will pay back the unreimbursed medical expenses. I think the state has the total of the total child support arrearages at $20,646.15, and we have a gross for the unreimbursed medical expenses of $15,379.08. And of course, Mr. White's half of that would only be $7,689.54, of which we're also asking the court to order Mr. White to pay.
All right, Hudgens.
Thank you, Judge. We are in agreement and understand my client is prepared today for the arrears that he has to be confirmed, including the medical support that he understands that he owes. The only thing that we are seeking, I think that's different today, Your Honor, is reimbursement for medical insurance that my client covered for several years, beginning part of the year in 2016, going through 2020. And that amount is $9,936 that he would like credit for. Otherwise, he's prepared and realizes that these arrears will be confirmed. So that's our argument today, Judge.
All right, did y'all forward a copy of your pleadings and your request on that to Mr. Secorra?
I'm sorry, Judge.
I'm sorry, I don't have a copy of those pleadings right before me at this time, Ms. Hudgens, because I'm working out of my Belton office.
Oh, okay.
Did you forward a copy of those pleadings and to Mr. Secorra and the state?
So I provided the insurance documents that he had yesterday, and then I just forwarded those to the state just now. Actually, I realized that she was not on those emails. And then the order, I believe, is from their original order that Miss Boyd was supposed to be providing the medical insurance. And he stepped in and did that when one of the children was not covered for those years. I'm unclear why she was not, but that coverage wasn't provided. So he provided that for her then, and I can send that order once I find it.
Okay, but I'm sorry, did you have any pleadings to that effect and put the other side on notice that you'll be requesting that today?
No.
Okay. All right, well, I don't think I can take that one up at this time because again, nobody, I don't have it, and obviously since it wasn't done, so I'm looking at, and it wasn't in part of your counter or any request that you made in an answer. Is that correct then?
No, Judge.
All right then. Well, I'm gonna probably have you have to go ahead and you have to plead that, send that over to them. We can once that is done. Obviously, there might be some discovery going on because again, that one's a little bit unusual, but it happens. I've seen that happen before. I've had to deal with that before. But for right now, I think the only thing today I can take up is dealing with the arrears on the child support and the arrears on the unreimbursed medical. And if you're asking for unreimbursed medical insurance payments that you made, Obviously, the court will entertain that also, but like I said, I think you do need to plead and file a counter for that, and I'll set that for a hearing at a proper date. But right now, that's the only thing I think I can look at, and I'll let the state and Mr. Secorra tell me what they want to do on that, but again, that's what I'm looking at. Anyway, I'll start with you, Ms. Bond. That was your turn. And then you can address and tell the court what you want to do, and you can address what Ms. Hudgens is requesting, and then I'll go back to Mr. Secorra. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The statements as far as how we got here are correct, Your Honor. The Attorney General's office was only looking to confirm the amount of child support arrears based on our payment record, as well as the unreimbursed medical that Ms. Boyd had also let our office know prior to its transfer to Coryell County. Assuming, Your Honor, that we have a same judgment date for both, the state is fine with that. I guess the only issue with Ms. Hutchins's relief sought on behalf of Mr. White is if it's going to change the numbers in the medical column, child support column. Again, judgment dates need to be the same. And so I'm not sure if the court will entertain that at a future date, what we're able to do today.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Secorra.
Okay. You want me to go ahead and start my case then?
No, sir. I was going to give you a chance to respond to what Ms. Hutchins is requesting as far as the health insurance repayment.
Unfortunately, here's my problem with this thing. We just got into this not too many weeks ago. I don't have a copy of the prior order in front of me. It might be may have it in paperback here in the back. They just never uploaded it. But I mean, I think, if this is a request, like I said, if it goes behind a request for a prior order, we wouldn't want the judge, of course, the court to take it up, because we would have said the time, to seek that enforcement at this time had expired. I think there's a statute of limitations also on that of 2 years that the court can go back on those credits anyway. So at this time, we're just going to put on our evidence of what of the medical bill, the unreimbursed medical expenses that she's incurred at this time.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Hudgens, anything else as far as the counter is concerned, ma'am? Because again, I'm looking at obviously, I'm looking at ordering you to go ahead and plead that, serve the other side, let y'all do whatever discovery y'all think y'all need to do. Let y'all raise any and all defenses as far as the statutes of limitations, anything. Again, I didn't see that in my stack, and by your very information today, that it wouldn't be there. So your response at this time, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. I understand. We will file pleadings to that effect and try and set that another day then. I mean, otherwise, like I mentioned earlier, I know my client is prepared for those arrears to be confirmed, so we'll go forward with that at this time.
All right, then. And again, I'll let everybody know, I'll maybe looking at the same dates as far as the dates I'm going to use for the starting of things, but all these are 3 separate items, and they're going to be they have their own 3 separate columns on a spreadsheet. So well, a spreadsheet in my head anyway, and we'll go and so what mom's entitled to and proving it, and the court will rule on, and then I'll put that down and order that repaid. And if dad's entitled to anything, I'll put that down and order her to repay him. It's one of those things. But everybody, I don't think I could, if at that point somebody wants to forgive something or counter something once there's a final, then that's fine. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and deal with the 2 items today: the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you.
I do.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what is your full name?
Ladina Denise Boyd.
Who are your children?
Lexi, Lindsay, and Logan.
Was that me, or is that Ms. Boyd having difficulty?
Did you hear me?
I didn't hear very much of it, Miss Boyd. I think that it was Miss Boyd's connection, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Boyd, you can go ahead and turn off your video at this time, ma'am, but that usually helps with the bandwidth just in case, okay? Especially if you're on a cellular device, just go and turn off your video. Thank you.
Lexi and Lindsay Logan White.
And again, ma'am,
And
go
ma'am,
ahead and turn off your video, ma'am, because you're cracking up on our end.
Okay.
Thank you.
and ma'am, who is the father of your 3 children?
Quentin White.
Were you able to hear the opening statements for each of the 3 attorneys?
Yes.
And so, ma'am, based on Mr. Secorra's statement, you are wanting to confirm the arrears that the state shows for child support based on the financial activity report?
Correct.
And ma'am, since the divorce decree was done in 2013, Mr. White has had a set amount he's supposed to pay for the 3 children, correct?
Correct.
And those payments were supposed to go through the state disbursement unit, nothing direct to you, correct, ma'am?
Correct.
And would you agree, ma'am, that the total stated by your attorney on the record as support arrears as of yesterday was accurate?
Yes. 20,646.15.
And then, ma'am, as far as the unreimbursed medical, you were aware that my office had included a request for confirmation of that and repayment as well as your own attorney, correct?
Correct.
And ma'am, as far as the unreimbursed medical, when would you say the most recent expense was incurred by you?
The most recent expense is every day.
Okay, and the reason I asked that, Ms. Boyd, is with the judgment dates I was advising the court of, we would be asking that as of November 7, 2024, Mr. White owed all of that in child support arrears. And then as of yesterday, whatever amount your attorney and you are able to prove up today would be the same judgment. So if there's nothing, or if you can't prove it up today, it may be barred, you can't go for it. Does that make sense?
No, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Fair enough, ma'am. I'll leave it to your attorney and perhaps later on. But you said every day as far as expenses. So as of today or yesterday, whatever you spend isn't in the documentation your attorney has.
Correct.
Okay. And then, ma'am, as far as any repayments, were you seeking a specific amount or leaving it up to what's allowable?
I would like the 20,646.15. What's owed?
Yes, ma'am. And are you seeking a lump sum of the entire amount, or were you comfortable with our normal $50 on top of interest every month beginning December 1st?
Well, that's fine with me, but that's going to be a lot of interest. So
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, Ms. Hudgens, your witness.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Boyd, has my client provided any other financial support outside of what is outside of the child support that's ordered?
never.
Okay. Does my client see the children?
When he wants to, not on a regular basis at all.
Okay, how often does he see the children?
Well, he's supposed to see them every first, third, and fifth, and get them once a month. But he has not. He didn't even come and see him last weekend when he was supposed to.
Okay. Are you aware that he's been hospitalized?
Well, that's what he says.
Okay.
Okay, so he didn't come see his kids for the whole summer of 2023. He only picked them up on Friday of June 14th of 2024 and brought them back at 8:30 on the 26th of June.
Okay.
I have plenty of text messages stating to the fact that he didn't want to keep them that long.
Okay, ma'am, here's the deal. Ms. Boyd.
Mhm.
Just answer the question. Don't go into a beyond detail of circumstances and what happened, that sort of thing. Right now, so we're just trying to get a cumulative overview of everything, ma'am. We're not going into the details. The lawyer will ask questions if they wish to go into specific details. Thank you.
Mhm.
Ms. Boyd, when was the last time you received a child support payment from the state disbursement unit?
I think it's September 30th.
Of this year?
Yes. And that was, let me pull it up.
Okay. That's all the questions I have for this witness, Judge.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Secorra. Your witness.
Sorry, take my mic off. All right. So in addition, Ms. Boyd, to requesting the child support, you'd like the court to also confirm the amount of arrearages that Mr. White owes you in terms of unreimbursed medical expenses, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you've provided the court what has been marked and has been disseminated to the parties in the court here as I guess it's called CP1, which is, or Exhibit CP1, which means custodial parent one, because as of right now, you're the primary custodial parent of these children, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And these particular documents that you provided that are marked as CP1, those you provided to me, correct?
Correct.
And those are, and where did you receive those documents from?
The Attorney General.
Okay. So you've written on those first, so you have this as part of that exhibit, the medical expenses tracking, that's your handwriting on there?
Correct.
And all of those amounts are accurate?
Correct.
And the bills that you have added to this particular packet, those are all contained inside that table, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And this is, you haven't made any alterations to any other documents other than the AG documents, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so when I added up the numbers for the unreimbursed medical expenses, you had a total unreimbursed medical expenses, or a total unreimbursed medical expenses of $15,379.08. Is that correct?
I have a total amount for broken down in each child with the total amount for his half. That's how I broke it down, for $9,682.16.
How much do you have? How much are you asking for?
$9,682.16.
Okay.
And I can break it down for all three kids, Lexi, Lindsay, and Logan, each individual.
Okay. Those are actually, so you've incurred $9,682.16 worth of medical expenses for these children, correct?
Well, I've incurred more. That's just his half.
Okay. So you're saying it's about 18,000, I guess would be the total then. What is the gross? Do you know what the gross is?
Well, I can get that for you real quick.
Okay. Well, let's go back. So you're asking the court today to order him to pay you back $9,682.16 in unreimbursed medical expenses, correct?
Correct.
Have you paid your half of them?
Yes, I've paid all of them.
Oh, okay. So they're all paid. You just need to be reimbursed.
Yes, I paid $19,364.32.
Okay. Got it. And you're asking the court to order him to reimburse you for that today?
Correct.
Are you asking for that in a lump sum, or if he can do it?
Yes.
Okay. If he cannot do a lump sum, are you okay with the court ordering that it be paid as part of his as part of a repayment plan?
Yes.
Okay. Are you asking the court in order to get these paid to put him on a suspended commitment today so that he gets those paid?
Yeah.
Okay. And how much have you incurred for this case in attorney's fees total? How much have you paid in attorney's fees?
To this point, $5,000.
5,000. And so are you also asking the court to order that he reimburse your attorney's fees at $5,000?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd like to offer what's been marked as the custodial parent.
All right, I do not have a copy of that here with me. You know how to do that on Zoom, Mr. Secorra. I made you a co-host just in case you want to do it, you know, on Zoom. Or did we lose Mr.? We're officially back on the record,
Okay.
and you may proceed. I turned off the recorder until you got back on, so thank you.
Sorry, thank you, Judge. Okay. I think the last time I just make sure you answer my last question. You're asking for him to also reimburse you the $5,000 in attorney's fees?
Correct.
Okay. And Your Honor, I'd like to offer what's been marked as custodial parents Exhibit 1 into evidence.
All right, does both attorneys have copies of the CP1? I'm sorry, both of y'all have used Ms. Mongat, Ms. Hudgens.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms.
I'm
Hudgens,
sorry,
you have a
I
copy
think I'm
of,
having internet problems.
yeah, we're all having them today, yeah, so. Might have something to do with that storm yesterday. Anyway, do you have a CP one, as Mr. Secorra stated, was offered in evidence at this time? Do you have a copy?
Yes, Judge.
All right, do any of the attorneys have an objection to CP one coming in evidence?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
All right, CP one is admitted. I'll have Mr. Secorra please forward a copy of that to my assistant Belinda by email, and I'll place it in the court file. Thank you. You may proceed at this time, Mr. Secorra.
I pass the witness.
All right, then. All right, Ms. Mongat, anything on redirect, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Boyd, the first pages of CP1, would you agree that the dates on there went back to October of 2018 until August of 2024?
On which one?
CP1, that initial chart at the beginning of it?
Are you talking about, there's 3 of them. Are you talking about the medical tracking expenses?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that the one we're talking about? Mhm.
Yes.
There's 3 different. Which one are you talking about? Lindsay's, Lexi's, or Logan's?
So for Logan's,
'Cause I have,
do you have different dates for your 3 children or same dates for all 3?
10/18 of 2018 is the very first entry.
And as
then
far as
there's
the
only-
last entry, would you,
Sorry.
sorry, ma'am. So the rest of my question was last entry, August 27 of 24?
Let me see. 8/27 of 2024, correct.
And then because of what you were saying, where each of the children has them, so going further into this, there's one for each of your daughters as well, and same dates?
No, Lexi's is different. Hers started 12/23 of 2019 through 4/5 of 2021.
Okay. And then for Lindsay's, also different, but same end date?
Now, Lindsay's is the same start and end.
Okay.
The only one that's different is Lexi's.
And so, ma'am, going back to my initial questioning of you, are you asking for any reimbursement for anything after August 27 of 2024?
Well, they're always gonna have this medication, so
Yes,
in the
ma'am, but
future,
as of right this second.
right this second on this, no.
Okay, and so, Your Honor, at this time, state offers and most recent financial report was by email.
That one I have. All right, I'm not sure, we're gonna see this, all right, I know y'all probably already have it, but this is state's exhibit number 1. It is the state's financial activity report. Any objection to this coming to evidence at this time, Mr. Secorra?
Hold on. No objection, Your Honor.
Any objection, Ms. Hutchins?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state's one's admitted. You may proceed, Ms. Mongat.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I go ahead and share screen?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let's see. Miss Boyd, are you able to see that?
Yes,
Okay, perfect. So I am increasing the size of this, so hopefully you can see where I'm getting at. But the 20,000 figure that you testified to when you heard your attorney speak, you see that highlighted, correct?
correct.
And so, ma'am, based on what you were just telling me about August 27 of 24 being the last date that you're seeking reimbursement for today, do you have any problem with me asking the court to confirm the child support arrears as of the same date, August 27, 2024, in this amount, the $18,394.63?
Say that again. Why would you do that?
So that, ma'am, if you have any other expenses since August 27 of 24 that you eventually want reimbursement from Mr. White for, you're not barred from asking for it. If we take the judgment as of yesterday, August 28 to now, completely gone.
I would like to confer with my attorney.
Understood, ma'am. Your
All
Honor,
right.
for the moment, I go ahead and pass the witness.
All right, then okay, just a second. I'll go ahead and allow Ms. Hutchins to ask them any questions of the witness at this time, and then we'll, as soon as she gets through, I'll go ahead and do a quick break and allow Mr. Secorra and Ms. Boyd to confer in the breakout room, all right? All right, but at this time, let's keep the flow going. Ms. Hutchins, do you have any other questions of Ms. Boyd at this time?
Yes, Judge.
Go right ahead, please.
Looking at this evidence that was offered by your attorney, Ms. Boyd, there are several dates in 2018, and I only see 2 receipts in the whole document from 2018. Do you have other receipts for that year?
I have all the receipts.
So are there dates on this chart that are not represented in the receipts then?
I have every receipt that is in connection with every date on the chart.
Okay, do you have all of those receipts with you today?
Yes,
Have they been included in this document or will they be offered later?
no, they've all been uploaded.
Okay. So what I'm saying is there's only 2 receipts that I see in here with a 2018 date, and there are more dates in the chart than just 2 receipts. So what I'm asking is, are those receipts included in this evidence that has been offered by your attorney?
Yes,
Okay. Are all of the receipts for 2019 present in this evidence?
yes,
And all of the receipts in 2020?
yes.
That's all I have at this time, Judge.
All right, Mrs. Curry, any other questions before I'll go let you and this boy go into a breakout room for a moment or two? You're muted, sir. Your microphone's off, sir.
Miss Boyd, I was going to ask you, you've provided all of those, all of your documents to us, correct?
Correct.
And all those documents were filed as part of our motion for reimbursement of medical expenses, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, and so that they should be attached to your pleadings, correct?
Well, I sent them all in. Yes, they should be attached.
Okay. All right. I'll pass the witness.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take a 10-minute recess. I'm gonna go ahead and sorry, I know I made you co-host at one time, but you probably when you got kicked out, you probably lost that right. So I'm gonna go ahead and make you a co-host again at this time, Mr. Secorra, and I'm gonna go ahead and place you and your client in breakout room number 3. And when you leave, you can move her back in. All right, this time we're back on the record on Courier County College number DC-2455,431.
Ms. Boyd, were we able to decide whether you're asking for reimbursement as of August 27, 2024, or as of yesterday?
As of yesterday.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, just give everybody else a fair shot, Ms. Hudgens. Any further questions of Ms. Boyd?
No, Judge.
All right, Mrs. Secorra, anything else?
No further questions, this witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Secorra. Ms. Blangat, you can call your next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Quentin White. Sir, what is your full name?
And Mr. White, you're muted also, sir, so please unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're fine now. Thank you.
Quentin Brian White.
And sir, is it correct that you're the father of the 3 adult children in this case?
Yes.
And sir, based on that 2013 divorce decree, you've had the same support amount since March of 2013?
Yes, I have.
And all of your payments, sir, were supposed to go through the state disbursement unit, not direct to Ms. Boyd?
Correct.
And sir, you've had an opportunity to hear the opening statements and Ms. Boyd's testimony, correct?
Yes.
Were you also able to see the financial activity report that I had when I shared screen?
Yes.
Would you agree, sir, that you owe that $20,000 amount that was as of yesterday?
Yes.
And then, sir, as far as the issue of unreimbursed medical, would you agree to owing the amount that Ms. Boyd has testified is half of what she has paid in full?
Yes.
And sir, based on you being in agreement about both sets of numbers, did you have any particular request for the repayment to each of those?
What do you mean by that?
Well, sir, typically the state of Texas will request that you pay $50 on top of interest for each judgment. And so the 20,000 one, it was coming out to $154 a month, and that would begin December 1st. Since the unreimbursed medical amount is much smaller, it's a little smaller there, but that's what we typically do. I don't know if you had a preference as to what this court orders for repayment.
No, that's probably all I can probably do.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, Mrs. Secorra, your witness.
Yes, Mr. White, do you currently, what assets do you currently have available to you?
I have no assets currently available.
Well, I mean, you own a house, correct?
Yes, I do.
All right. So you own property. How much real estate do you own? Do you like one property, 2 properties?
2 properties.
2 properties? Okay. Is it possible that you could rent out one of those properties to help raise, money to assist your kids?
Well, the problem is right now, all my properties have a lien against them. Already went down to take care of that, but I have a lien against all my properties.
who's holding liens against your property?
I guess the child support.
Okay.
When I went down, everything had a lien because I've already tried to decide to do something like you're talking about, but everything
Okay.
has a red letter on the top that says, till I pay my child support, I cannot do anything with my properties.
Okay.
You probably
And
know
as
more
far-
about that than I do.
That's okay. What were you, are you currently working?
I was working and trying to pay, but I've been in the hospital for 2 weeks. I got a blood infection and lost my eyesight in my left eye and partial eyesight in my right eye. So I'm trying to figure that out now.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. White.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. What do you do for a living?
I'm a mechanic, so I'm in a pretty bad situation right now with this eyesight deal.
You're primarily a diesel mechanic?
Yes,
Do you work for somebody or do you have your own business?
I've worked for myself for like over 25 years. And then during COVID, everything. And if you look, I paid my child support up to the last year and a half. Everything after COVID, my business just went downhill bad.
Yeah. Have you sought to get your child support adjusted?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to try to do, but I've never had the chance to try to do that.
As far as what you're doing right now, how much is your business bringing in let me rephrase that because I want to ask you how much your business bringing in. How much do you bring in a month from your business?
Lately, I'm lucky if I bring about 1,500 in a month, and then I have to pay my regular, electric, water bill, and my bills.
Yeah. What other income do you receive? Do you receive any like disability payments or VA
No,
payments
sir.
or anything like
No, sir. I hadn't signed in for that yet. The hospital said that I need to try to get financial aid for what's going on with me, but this just happened. It's only been going on for 3 weeks.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is you don't receive like any retirement right now or any other kind of payments?
No, sir. Nothing. No, sir.
All right. I'll pass the witness.
All right, then, Ms. Hutchins, your witness.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. White, you testified a little bit about your current medical situation. I want to touch on that a bit more so the court understands currently what you're dealing with. How long were you hospitalized?
For a week and a half.
Okay. And you have completely lost vision in which eye?
In my left eye.
Okay. Is the vision in your other eye impacted as well?
I've lost 10% in that eye.
Okay.
It's hard. I can't drive on my own.
Okay. Do they have a definitive diagnosis and prognosis for you?
My vision won't come back in my left eye. My right eye, they're trying to save it right now. They've got me on like 6 different antibiotics for the blood infection to stop the eyesight loss. And that's all they've told me. I've got an appointment in 2 more weeks to go back.
Okay.
I'm on quite a bit of medication and a lot of steroids.
Okay. And you will hopefully be able to seek disability yourself or something to that effect to assist you because of this financial strain.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. I've talked to some of the financial people at Scott and White supposed to try to get me some help.
Okay. Historically, I mean, your child support obligation began when? Do you know?
During my divorce, right after my divorce.
Well, yeah. So let me rephrase. Does March 1st, 2020 or 2013 sound correct to you?
Yes.
Okay. And you historically have paid your child support, correct?
Yes, I paid it up till I've had financial problems.
Okay.
For quite a few years, I paid it right on. You can look at you can ask that I've paid it on time and paid it like I was supposed to.
Okay. And that total amount does $86,250.75 sound correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I know briefly in my opening argument, I mentioned the insurance and, you know, we're not going forward with the argument we intended to at this time, but it is important. Did you provide medical insurance for any of the kids?
For Lexi.
Okay. And what years did you provide medical insurance for her?
You had, I couldn't read. I can't read that right now with my eyesight, but you probably have that wrote down.
Does the years 2016 to 2020 sound correct?
Yes.
Okay. Were you ordered to provide medical insurance for her at that time?
I know that my child support said that anytime that she couldn't supply the medical support that I had to, so that's why I took it up.
Okay.
Because she didn't have her SSI medical support somehow got thrown off, so I paid the whole amount to keep
So
her
why
on
did
income.
why did she not provide, or why, let me rephrase. What was your understanding as to why Lexi didn't have health insurance for those years?
I was told that the paperwork just didn't get turned in correctly, I believe.
Okay.
I really don't know.
Did the other two children have insurance still?
They had their insurance, yes.
Okay, and did Miss Boyd provide that insurance?
I think the state did.
Okay, but she coordinated applications and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah. The states always supplied their insurance.
Okay. You understand that you owe this child support, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And with that, are you asking the court to order a specific amount for you to make payments towards these arrears?
I believe I'd have to. I mean.
Okay, so do you have $29,000 laying around to make a lump sum payment?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Given your medical status, do you think you're going to have a hard time getting $29,000 to make a lump sum payment?
I don't think they're going to give me any loans right now. No, ma'am.
Okay.
Because I can't work right now.
Okay. And when were you released from the hospital?
Oh, let's see. It's been a week already, so I really don't. I'd have to find out on the calendar, the date.
Okay.
Calendar.
But it's literally been within the last 2 weeks, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That's all I have at this time, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Bongad. Anything on redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mrs. Secorra, anything on recross?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then. Ms. Bongad, you know, this is Zoom. I kind of know the answer. Any other witnesses at this time, Ms. Bongad?
None for the state, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, and I'll start with you, Mrs. Secorra. Any other witnesses you wish to call, or you need to recall either of the two witnesses that we have present in the courtroom today?
No, Your Honor, I've asked the questions that I need to ask of both of them. I appreciate the offer.
No problem. Okay, Ms. Hudgens, anything, you just finished up with Mr. White, or do you need to recall Ms. Boyd for any matter that you need cleared up?
Yes, Judge, if I can briefly call Miss Boyd again, please.
All right, Ms. Boyd, you're muted, ma'am. Please unmute yourself.
Okay.
All right, she's unmuted. You may proceed, Ms. Hutchins.
Thank you, Judge. Miss Boyd,
Yes.
is it your understanding that Mr. White provided insurance for Lexi from 2016 to 2020?
Yes, because she got kicked off of MDCP. It was not me not doing the paperwork. She was kicked off MDCP for that insurance. She was not considered medically dependent any longer.
Okay. Is she considered medically dependent currently then?
Yes,
Okay. And that time period sounds correct to you, 2016 to 2020?
I will have to go back and look to make sure, but I do have, that written down somewhere.
Okay. Do you believe that you were ordered to coordinate and arrange the children's insurance for all three of the children?
Yes, I was ordered to coordinate and keep all the paperwork up for the children's medical insurance, yes.
Okay. Did you look for other insurance if she was no longer able to be on whatever plan you had previously used for her?
I called him and said that, the divorce decree states that he's supposed to pay it if they don't have it anymore. So that's exactly what I did.
Right, but you were ordered to provide it, correct?
I did have insurance on her also.
Okay, so you had like a secondary insurance plan?
Yes, through my husband's insurance policy.
Okay, what insurance was that?
That was, oh, not the Blue Cross Blue Shield, it was the other one. Superior, not Superior, it was, I'll have to look that up. I don't remember the exact plan.
Okay, did you file any claims with that insurance for Lexi?
Did I file any claims?
Yes,
I
so
don't.
what I'm getting at is, did Mr. White's insurance for her cover all of her medical needs, or did the secondary insurance that you're saying you had for her, did that cover anything?
They both were applied, but I cannot recall the date that I went to take her to her appointments. They both applied.
Okay. Did you have a chance to review the documents that was sent to your attorney yesterday?
No, I did not.
Okay,
I didn't receive any documents that were sent yesterday. I received one from the OAG this morning in my email as exhibit.
okay. Did you ever see any of the insurance information for Lexi when she was covered by Mr. White's insurance?
What do you mean, the insurance information?
So like, did you have an insurance card for her? Did you ever see any of the statements? Did you ever?
No, I didn't receive any statements, and he sent me a card via text.
Okay. Okay, that's all I have for this witness, Judge.
All right, thank you very much. I'll give the other lawyers a shot, another shot at this one also. So, Ms. Bongat, anything else of this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, anything else, Mr. Secorra?
Just real quickly, am I on? Yeah.
Yeah, you're on.
Sorry. So, are these, just out of curiosity, Miss Boyd, are these children covered by any kind of disability?
Disability insurance?
Do you receive any SSDI from them?
They get SSI.
They get what?
SSI.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
They get SSI.
They get SSI? Okay. All right. And how much SSI do they get per month?
Let me pull it up.
I mean, do you know ballpark?
One of them gets a different amount for some reason.
Okay.
Because when he pays a little bit at a time, I have to send everything in, so.
Do they, before you, while you're searching for that information, let me move along and I can come back to it. Do you receive any other type of assistance to help you with these children?
No,
So do you care with them pretty much with just your own income?
correct.
And as far as you just live with the children in your household
I have a husband.
and your husband? Correct?
Correct.
Okay. But you have no other forms of income that assist you with these kids?
No,
Other than that? Okay. And I was going to ask you, are you able to make it as far as caring for these children right now?
I have to make it for caring for these children. Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll pass the witness.
All right, anything else, Ms. Hudgens?
Judge, if I can recall my client.
Okay, but anything else of this witness?
No, none with this witness, Judge.
Ms. Mongat? All right, thank you. All right, yes, ma'am, you may recall Mr. White for a moment. Thank you. Mr. White, you're still on oath. You may proceed, Ms. Hudgens.
Thank you. You provided me documents for the insurance, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, and those are statements and your calculations for what you covered from 2016 to 2020, correct?
correct.
Okay. Have you altered these statements in any way or changed them at all?
No,
Okay. And these statements also include your wife's name, is that correct?
yes,
Okay. Judge, at this time, I'd like to offer our Exhibit 1. It was sent, I believe Mr. Secorra should have a copy and then the court should have a copy as well.
Okay, well, again, Ms. Hutchinson, what's this in evidence for at this time? Again, it sounds like it's the matter that I said I can't take up yet because of the pleadings. But,
Right.
So
Yeah. So,
I'll
Judge,
see you, ma'am, but until the pleadings are on file, I can't give this gentleman credit for this. Okay.
well, Judge, what I'm actually getting at with this, Texas Family Code Section 154.188 references when a party has failed to provide health insurance, regardless of whether the expenses would have been covered or not, that party is liable for those expenses. So if these payments or what Ms. Boyd is suggesting, and I'm sorry, this is a long document, let me get to the top. If her argument is that there are, for example, on this chart for Logan White, 15 payments that my client is supposed to reimburse her for half of, if she did not provide medical insurance as she was ordered to do in that time, my client should not be liable for those payments. And like I said, that's 15 for just one child. I'd have to go through because I know, as she mentioned, she split these into different charts, I believe. But that's why I'm offering this evidence, Judge.
All right, and okay, based on that and that limited request for this evidence to come in, any objection, Mr. Secorra?
Only as to the relevance, but if the court wants to limit it to that, I'd be fine with it.
All right, Ms. Mongat?
No objection for the limited purpose stated, Your Honor.
All right, then they're omitted as far as that for the limited purpose. Yeah, the other problem I'm having, Ms. Hutchins, I don't have a copy of that original decree. And I'm not sure whether or not that it says that mom is to maintain health insurance so long as it's what the circumstances are. And if mom can no longer maintain health insurance, it's their responsibility, or it's the standard boilerplate that we usually see in divorces that state that here you provide the health insurance, and then if somehow it falls apart on your side, then and the other side takes it up, then you're responsible, so forth and so on. But again, I don't have that documentation before me because again, I didn't have the pleadings and the original divorce was not before me, ma'am. So I'm not sure what I can do one way or the other until I get that. But
Okay.
for this purpose and this limited purpose only, I'll go ahead and allow that in.
Okay.
I'll let you proceed with any other questions you have of your client. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. That's actually all I have for him.
All right, thank you. All right, anything on read cross of Mr. White, Ms. Bungat,
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Secorra?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any other, okay, well, I give everybody the opportunity to call witnesses. So at this time, I'll go ahead and have closing arguments and closing statements at this time. So since Mrs. Kerr, I'll start with you because you know your client is the one that's benefiting the most from today's hearing. So I'll start with you, then go to Ms. Hudgens, and then go to Ms. Bungat. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, so as far as what we're asking for today is, I'm just restating that the $20,000, $646.50 as of today, as far as the arrearage, we're fine as confirming it that as of today. The same thing as with the medical expenses at $9,682.16, which my client testified to. And that would all be confirmed as of today, the 8th of November of 2024. We'd like the court to incorporate a payment plan back to help out with these kids and to make things, I guess, easier on all the parties because under the circumstances. And so, and we'd like that to begin December the 1st of this year. And that's really what our position is at this particular time.
All right, thank you. Ms. Hutchins.
Thank you, Judge. I think it's clear that my client understands and agrees that he is in arrears and he is willing to make payments towards those arrears. So we have no argument against that. More so, my argument, Judge, is that he should not be exclusively responsible for those dates that I mentioned previously. And I understand the court's position on a decree. Beyond that, I would bring to the court's attention that my client has paid $86,250.75 in support. That fact alone is apparent that my client is not trying to avoid providing for these children or contributing to their care. More so, he has struggled financially, and I think, if anything, has failed to go back and seek modification from the court when he probably should have. But beyond that, he has struggled just like everybody else in this economy and has still attempted to provide and support where he can. So for those reasons, Judge, I would request that a suspended sentence not be ordered in this case. We are in agreement that the arrears will be confirmed. In addition to those things, Judge, my client has suffered some medical setbacks recently. He will definitely not be working through the end of the year. I don't know. I don't think his team of providers know when he's going to be able to return to work or if he's going to be able to return to work. He's testified that he can't drive. He's a mechanic, and obviously, as you can imagine, his work is going to be intensive on what he can and cannot see. So for those reasons, Judge, we would ask that you would extend when those payments begin, just taking into account the feat that he is up against currently from a medical perspective. And that is all I have, Judge. Thank you.
Bungat.
Your Honor, it's the state's understanding that we were only present on the motion to confirm support arrearage and the unreimbursed medical pled for by the state and transferred from Falls County. It's the state's understanding that the motion for enforcement filed by Mr. Secorra on behalf of Ms. Boyd was requested to be referred down to the 4D court, but without any such order being made aware to the council, I don't think the enforcement is before the court, and especially since we are on Zoom as opposed to in person in Coryell County like we would be next Wednesday. I don't know that the court can even look at sentences to suspend, especially since we haven't established what the dates of failures to pay were. But as far as the state's issues, Your Honor, I believe there was no disagreement as to the amounts owed by Mr. White on child support according to the financial activity report. The state has calculated that the usual 50 on top of interest would be $154. And then with regard to the unreimbursed medical, I believe I heard Ms. Boyd testify to paying in full $19,354.32, half of which I get as $9,677.16. It isn't very far off what Mr. Secorra announced, only $5. But I calculated repayment, Your Honor, at $99 using the same 50 plus interest. And the state will defer to the court as to start date on that arrears repayments. But I would ask that judgments, Your Honor, be as of November 7th for both amounts so that financial can actually enter the order.
Okay. All right, thank you everybody very much. I'm going to go ahead and obviously take care of what we are set here to do today. I'm taking care of the two judgments. I'm going to go ahead and reduce the judgment, the unpaid child support and order repayment, and I'm going to use the state's amounts. Obviously, I don't think the dad is in a position to do lump sums at this point, so let's go ahead and just take care of it in payments, and I'll discuss how y'all might want to look into that later. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and reduce the judgment beyond the amounts as requested by for unpaid child support and order repayment at the interest plus 50, so that's the $154 amount. I'm gonna go ahead and reduce the judgment the unreimbursed medical expenses and order repayment at $99 on that, as testified to by the state as being the appropriate amount plus interest. I'm going to go ahead and I usually don't do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and waive court costs in this matter. Like I said, the gentleman paid over $80,000 over the years, and believe me, if everybody paid at least $80,000 towards their child support, the judge probably wouldn't have a job. Okay, yeah, well, I would not be that necessary. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now, here's the I'll hold in advance anything dealing with the enforcement cause of action. And look at specific dates at that point, because like I said, that did not come up today as far as that, and I need exact dates if I was going to do any type of enforcement, and everybody wasn't on notice for that. So yeah, that's going to be problematic in and of itself. But from the father's testimony, I hear that there are liens against property. So y'all might want to get together with the lawyers and the state and see whether or not see what dad was trying to do as far as getting some of this stuff paid off and paying it off in a lump sum. Obviously, he can pay off the judgment in a lump sum anytime he feels like it based on the judgment amount. But if the state would be willing to, as part of a deal, lift a lien for him to get a loan against it, or for him to sell or whatever he was thinking about doing. But again, I'll leave that up to him and his lawyer to discuss and see how you might want to try to do that. But I've known the state to do that before. Lift the liens to allow the payment to come in, or the asset to be used for payment purposes. So, but again, and obviously that will take care of that ASAP. Anyway, I'll go ahead and like I said, I'm going to go ahead and finish that up as today. As far as those two items, I will have my assistant get me a copy of that original decree of divorce so I can get up to speed to see what the exact order said. Because again, with special needs children, those things usually have vary from the normal boilerplate that's in DocuSign. So, but I'll get up to speed on that. And and the next time, or if there is next time, if I want to have a hearing on those other issues, I will go ahead and set it. But I'm going to go ahead and order the repayment as testified as rendered, and just because the father's recent illnesses, I'm going to start the judge. I'll find the judgments as of November the 7th, as requested by the state. But I'm going to go ahead and start the repayment the first day of January 2024, and hopefully, sir, you can. 2025. Sorry, I do not want to go back over this year again. Okay. No way. This has been a fun one. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and order it as of January 1st, 2025. And I'll allow you lawyers to get together and figure out how y'all want to handle. But I did this I did this because it wasn't an enforcement. I usually do enforcements live. Like I said, I got enforcement. I do enforcements in Coriel at least every other month and sometimes back-to-back months. But I know I'm not doing one in December because of the holidays. I'm doing one next week, and I'm doing one in early January. So if you need to get on the live docket, you can check with Ms. Bongad and get that live docket date in Coriel. Or if we need to get a follow-up on Zoom, just let me know, and I'll come up with a new Zoom code for it. But at this time, I'll ask I'll start with the state and see if there's anything else specifically I need to rule on, Ms. Bongad. And as far as the matters before the court today and the abeyance I'm holding on the other matters, as far as the state preparing the order is concerned.
Your Honor. Nothing else.
All right, Mr. Secorra, anything else, sir, for clarification purposes or anything else?
Yes, actually, I can clarify the court. So as I understand it, I don't think I think I was confused, and that's on my part. I don't see that we have an enforcement filed with the court. What we did, this is kind of weird. We filed what's called a motion for reimbursement of medical expenses. So it wasn't enforcement. It was a motion to reimburse, which basically mirrors the motion that the state has. It's just our own motion for it. Somehow that got stuck in the district court.
Yours didn't ask for punitive relief in yours, okay? The state always asks for the big hammer, right? So yeah.
Right.
Okay, no problem then. Well, but again, Ms. Hudgens has her pleadings, and so we could obviously do that on the Zoom docket. I'll even set it up as a special because again, when I'm dealing with anything financial and I've got to deal with spreadsheets and reimbursement sheets, yeah, those need to be in a private session or live because getting that into evidence is always fun. So, thank you very much for the clarification, Mr. Secorra. Anything else, sir?
No, sir. I just want to make that clarification.
No problem. All right, Ms. Hutchins, anything else, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank y'all all very much. I'll let the state prepare that order. I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving and wish me luck tomorrow. I got to go. I'm driving to St. Marcus to see a 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 4-year-old in a church play. So yeah. Because Grandpa Mike is doing the grandpa thing. All right.
Drive safe, Judge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, be safe.
Don't worry. I got somebody riding shotgun with me. One of Miss Bongat's former associates named Rindle. I'm not sure. I know Mr. Carter who that is, but I don't know. I don't think Miss Hutchinson would.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go down to Bell County and look from 1985 probably to 2005. Who filed the most cases in Bell County? It's going to be under the name of Richard Rindle as the AG, and it's probably close to something like 40,000 cases. So yeah. So anyway, thank y'all, and everybody be safe and and like I said,
all right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
So we're done.
Yes, you're done, man. Sir, you're free to go. Yeah. Any questions you have, run it by your attorney. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Good luck, sir. Good luck with that eye thing.
I hope.
I had an infection in my leg. I didn't know I had it, and the next thing they were pumping me full of antibiotics. I know, but I definitely prefer the leg to anything in the head. Okay. So,
now, I wish my eyes. I told them take my leg than my eyes. That's what I told them.
Yeah.
I can still do something without my leg.
Well, I don't want to lose either. So let's okay. All right.
Thank you. All right.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.